Now, for my second volume of quick reviews, I'm going to start things off with the A-Team. Now, the cast they have to play the A-Team for Murdoch, Face, BA, and the other guy, I thought those guys were great. Granted, the guy playing BA is no Mr. T, but he gets the job done. And the action sequences are pretty fun to watch. That's really about it in terms of what I liked about the movie. In terms of what I didn't like about it, there are some parts of the movie where when they're planning a mission, it goes back and forth between them planning the mission and seeing the mission happen as it happens. Like, that bugged me a bit. The editing was a bit sloppy from time to time. Then the movie really focused on the relationship between Face and that one agent. I was like, why? Like, he's a main character, but he's not the central character. And when you see the bad guys in the movie, it's like, for the first time, it's like, oh, I knew right away that they were gonna be the bad guy. It's like, really? Like, the movie's entertaining, but it does have its flaws. So I'll give the A-Team a 3 out of 5. So, for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I remember seeing the movie posted this, but I never really knew what the movie was about. It's not until a couple years later I found out that it was based upon the Odyssey. It's like, what? Now I have to watch this movie to see what the full context behind it is. And yeah, it's a really nice retelling of the Odyssey. Granted, it's not necessarily mythological, but they handle it in a way in which, okay, they take certain key things and they make it really legit in the context of the film. And I do like the chemistry between, like, George Clooney and the other two actors he's with in the movie. I thought they were fine. Actually, the acting's pretty good. I like the cinematography. I like the music. I guess the only thing I disliked about the movie was the ending, or at least the part where the flood came in. Like, I thought that was just really out of nowhere. But beyond that, I thought the movie was really entertaining as it is, so I give Oh Brother, Where Art Thou a 4 out of 5. As for Silver Lining Playbook, the movie in general is a really good film, and I do like how the main character is a bipolar person, and I do like the chemistry between Bradley Cooper's character and Jennifer Lawrence, and the movie is really funny. It's just, I felt the only problem I had with the movie was the first 45 minutes, where it was just a slow build up. I mean, granted, within the first 45 minutes, there's a little, like, couple funny scenes here and there, but it was just so slow. Like, I remember the first time watching it, I just wanted to stop. But you know what? I'm glad I finished the movie because the rest of it is fantastic. And it has some really good acting in it, too. So, I give Silver Lining Playbook 3.5 out of 5. Now, as for The Sorcerer and the White Snake, on the other hand, this movie is just kind of all over the place. Case in point, the actual description of the movie, where it generally talks about, oh, how the sorcerer has to save a villager from the clutches of the evil white snake. The white snake in question is, I mean, by no means evil. And granted, yeah, she's a demon, but she's not evil. If anything, the sorcerer himself is more of the bad guy. Granted, I can understand his reasoning for being a bad guy, but he's not evil. Like, no, there's no clear villain, which I actually kind of like. But it's just one of those things where everything kind of bounced all over the place for me. Like, I felt like there was a bit too many characters to keep track of. And the CGI in this movie is so horrid. Like, oh my god. I think I've seen better graphics in the early thousands than this. And this came out a few years ago. Like, wow, these just don't look that good at all. And the movie itself is really depressing. Like, if I had to compare it, it's kind of like Romeo and Juliet if it took place in Japan and had demons. Like, the story itself is really depressing, but it's just the movie as a whole, it's kind of all, again, it's just all over the place. So I give The Sorcerer and the White Snake 2 out of 5. So for my final movie of this segment, I'm going to talk about Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, the movie I didn't think was by any means bad, but in comparison to the first movie of the reboot, it's not as good as the first movie. And I can understand, a sequel isn't barely as good as the first movie. I can understand that. But this movie, I felt, had a lot of problems with it. Like, the pacing. There's some parts of the movie where I felt, okay, it was really fast pacing, but then there's some parts of it where it just slows down a bit. Like, I felt like I was watching a 3-hour movie on a spaceship for no reason, but anywho. Then the whole plot twist with Khan I thought was really unnecessary. Because ever since the first trailer came out for the movie, everyone was like, okay, Benjamin Cumberbatch is playing Khan. And you know what? That's true. But, you know, before the movie came out, the people were like, oh, he's actually called John Harrison. It's like, what the fuck? What, like, really, what was the point of that? And also, speaking of Khan himself, I didn't think was really that evil. I mean, granted, yeah, he did kill a lot of people and shit, but I didn't think he was really that villainous. Like, I didn't think he didn't become a real villain till the end of the movie. Like, he doesn't really do much throughout the movie. And also, the movie itself is nothing more than a remake of the Wrath of Khan film. I mean, granted, it's not, well, okay, it's not quite a verbatim remake of that movie, but there is a lot of scenes they take from that movie into this film. It's just they happen to flip it upside on its head. And yeah, I give Star Trek Into Darkness a 3 out of 5.
And see you later.